So a perfectly peaceful war veteran is being handcuffed for a Facebook post by a politically motivated police force. He's being handcuffed. He's not resisted. He's not done anything. This is a man who served our country, and you people are a disgrace.
Hi, everybody. What we just saw there was a Army veteran being arrested for a Facebook post. 3 or 4 uniformed officers showing up to the man's residence for something he posted online. You think, well, what on earth could warrant such a reaction? Did he threaten the government? Did he, make terroristic threats? Was he posting obscene, graphic, vile pornography? No. He posted, and he wasn't the original poster. He reposted, he shared an image of the Pride Progress flags arranged in a manner that it resembled a swastika. And the fact that when you arrange those flags, that's what it looks like, to me says a little bit more about the flags, but I'll leave that there. He posted an image, and it was his feelings towards the LGBTQ plus IAP ampersand divided by, organization, and sometimes their authoritarian push on companies, wokeism, media, and, it was art. Art is subjective. You don't have to like it. You can think that it is offensive. But the fact that in the UK, this got police to show up to his house and arrest him is absolutely mind-blowing to us in the United States. We are often told that, why are we so proud of freedom? Who cares about our freedom? Everybody's free. There's 130 countries in the world that are free. No, they're not. To pretend that Canada, the UK, most of Europe, Australia, they're on the same level as the United States when it comes to freedom, when it comes to expression, when it comes to freedom of speech? Absolutely not. United States is very unique with its Bill of Rights and with its protections here with the freedom of speech and the First Amendment. Apparently, this post was originally posted by Lawrence Fox, who is the leader of the Reclaim Party. Apparently, he's an actor. I don't know this man. Maybe some of my audience in the UK can tell me more about him. He's actually the one who's videoing it. He's the one providing the commentary. So he's the original poster. He doesn't get arrested for making the post. Apparently, he did get arrested later for obstruction. So I guess there's some justice. He got his too. It wasn't just his buddy ended up being the scapegoat. But the Army veteran, whose name was not released, this was first reported Friday by the Epoch Times, by the way. I want to give the guys over at the Epoch Times credit for this story. Apparently, the police showed up to his house 5-6 days prior and had told him that he needed to pay an £80 fine for the post or he would be subject to arrest. And he said, I need some time to think about it. He wasn't sure what to do. And they said, okay, we'll give you some time to think about it. Well, they showed back up. They asked for their 80 quid for a re-education class. And he said, I ain't paying 80 quid. I'm not taking a re-education class. And this is when they decided to arrest him. So what exactly is the law that he broke? And I had to look this up because I thought surely the police are wrong here. Well, by the letter of the law, and Google all this by all means, Section 127 of the Communications Act says a person is guilty of an offense if he sends by means of a public electronic communications network a message or other matter that is grossly offensive or of an indecent, obscene, or menacing character. So could they say possibly because it resembled a swastika that it was menacing? Okay. Or they caused someone else cause such message or other matter to be sent. Or number 2, and this is where they got him on, a person is guilty of an offense if, for the purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience or needless anxiety to another. He sends by means of a public electronic communications. First off, can we address the elephant in the room here that says a person is guilty of an offense if he. So women can't be guilty of this offense? They, thems, zers, bug selves, demon selves, all the 120 plus genders, whatever the hell pronouns people are requesting at this point. A person is guilty of an offense if he. Well, I take a little offense to that. So he apparently, under Section 2, caused annoyance, inconvenience, or needless anxiety. This is the problem with this type of legislation, and I've heard Dr. Jordan Peterson speak on this many times, much more articulately than I can do. But he talked about this type of legislation. You need to define these terms before these things become law. What is menacing specifically? What is needless anxiety specifically? You don't get to pass these types of laws, start enforcing these types of laws, and you still don't have concrete definitions, objective definitions for what these damn terms mean. Because without these definitions, then it's just completely subjective to whoever feels like. How many people today feel like they felt annoyed or a little bit of anxiety based on a Facebook or Twitter or social media post? Exactly. This could be used a million times a day. This is absolutely absurd. You know, in the United States, we have free speech, and the only limitations are a direct call to arms or a direct call to action. Sorry, not a call to arms. Otherwise, Lori Lightfoot would have her ass in trouble. A direct call to action. You are not allowed to call specific acts that result in violence. I cannot specifically call out a individual and say this person needs to be attacked. That's illegal. That's not covered under free speech. You know, the common thing, you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. If there's no fire, that's correct. That's a call to action that can cause harm or injury to people. You're not allowed to do a specific call to action. Other than that, it's free speech. And this is why there's so much push by the right, by libertarians, conservatives, Republicans, on protecting freedom of speech and pushing against this idea of hate speech laws, because it's purely subjective. Does that mean that I don't think that speech can be hateful? No, of course I don't think that. Of course speech can be hateful. There's a lot of vile things that are said out there. There's a lot of things that I wish people did not say. But I do not believe it should be regulated. It should not be enforced by law. Those vile things should be protected as much as anything else. And if you don't like them, then you speak out against those. You know, we say that sunlight is the best bleach. Shine a light to those vile things. You public shame people. I don't have any problem with that. But it should not be illegal, no matter how vile somebody says something. I believe the old saying is, I may not agree with what you have to say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. And that is how I feel. I am a free speech absolutionist. There are no exceptions. There still can be hateful speech. There can still be people saying really mean words. But when you start going down this road, police showing up to the guy's door over posting a flag, and ironically, if you will, the same day he's being arrested, there is a woman. Let me pull this up here real quick. There is a woman, professional woman soccer player, who I'm told we're supposed to care about a great deal, promote women in athletes, especially soccer and basketball. And she was not allowed to play Friday night because she said she wasn't going to wear their pride jersey. Mrs. Jaylene Daniels, who is a woman of color, I might add, we really are supposed to care about these women. She is of the National Women's Soccer League, the NWSL. She did not participate in a North Carolina Courage game Friday night for refusing to wear a Pride jersey, the team confirmed. A team spokeswoman told media before the start of the game that Miss Daniels, 29, would not be on the field over the Friday's contest against the Washington Spirit due to her decision not to wear the Courage's Pride-themed jersey. So the fact that this Army vet, the fact that Mr. Lawrence Fox put up this post of arranging the Pride Progress flag into the symbol of a swastika, and then seeing the same day a woman of color, professional soccer player, not being allowed to play because she would not embrace that ideology, kind of goes to the point that Mr. Fox was making with the damn post to begin with. This authoritarian, you will bend the knee. You will bow to this. My God, wokeism is absolutely taking over. You know, I'm reminded about Mr. Drew Brees when he had made a quick comment when all the kneeling on the field was going into play, and how he didn't think that kneeling on the field was a really good idea, that it could be disrespectful. And oh my God, did they chastise him, and they came after him, and he immediately issued an apology, and he took his re-education camp, and the very next game he had Jacob Blake's name on the back of his helmet, and he bent the knee. It's never going to be enough. You need to stop apologizing. You need to stop bending the knee. You need to say what you're able to say. This authoritarian nature of these people is not going to stop. You have to push back. So this arrest happened in Hampshire, England, and I wanted to look up if Hampshire had any issues prior to arresting this man for a Facebook post. Well, apparently 10 years ago, there was a man named Simon Ledger who was arrested at a bar singing karaoke for racism because he was singing Kung Fu Fighting. Now, I want to cover this real quick because it's almost too funny to believe. Police arrested a singer on racism charges after a man reportedly of Chinese descent complained about his performance of the song Kung Fu Fighting. Now, I wonder, is he being arrested for singing the song, or is he being arrested because he butchered the song? The way they say it is he complained about his performance of it. Simon Ledger, 34, told Britain's The Sun newspaper that he and his band were performing the 1970s classic of a driftwood beach bar on the Isle of Wight off the southern coast of England. We were performing Kung Fu Fighting, as we do during all our sets, he told the newspaper. People of all races were loving it. Chinese people have never been offended before. So apparently it's not karaoke. This is his actual band. But Ledger told The Sun that an Asian man walking by with his mother hurled an expletive and made an obscene hand gesture at the performance during the Sunday afternoon performance and took a photo with his cell phone. We hadn't even seen them when we started the song. He must have phoned in the police. The man claimed he was subjected to racial abuse. This was 11 years ago. Subjected to racial abuse because a man and a band are singing Kung Fu Fighting. Now, I'm not 100% against someone calling the police over Kung Fu Fighting just because I think it's a terrible song. But the fact that they're doing it over racial abuse is mind-blowing. Now, one thing to cover, because I think that there are some people primarily on the left that support these types of laws. They push for these types of hate speech laws. They push for protection against vulnerable people, marginalized people. And they make it sound all well and good, and they make it sound like they have the best of intentions when they talk about these types of laws. So I wanted to look and see if there are any prominent Democrats that would have fell under this section 127 under UK's law. So do y'all remember when Mrs. Maxine Waters said that we need to, I need to take my glasses off real quick. Maxine Waters says, if you see anybody from the cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, in a gasoline station, you need to get out and you need to create a crowd and you need to push back on them and you need to tell them that you're not welcome anymore. And what's wrong with that speech? Now understand, I defend her speech. I defend her right to be able to say that. But if you look at the letter of the law under the UK version here, could you say that that is menacing? Could you say it's causing an annoyance? Absolutely. An inconvenience? Yep. Needless anxiety? 100%. So, under Section 127, Miss Maxine Waters, you are now arrested. Let's see what else here. What about, Mr. Eric Holder? What did Mr. Eric Holder say? Former Obama Attorney General Eric Holder, he had made a quip about Michelle Obama's call for civility. Michelle always says, when they go low, we go high. No, 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 he said. When they go low, we kick them. He said, adding, that's what this Democratic Party's about. We're proud as hell to be Democrats, and we're willing to fight for the ideals of the Democrat Party. Now, do I think Eric Holder should be arrested for saying this, we kick them? That's a call to action, but again, no, I wouldn't say that. To me, it's still not specific. It's not to a specific individual as far as calling for violence. But we look under the UK law. Is it menacing? Sure. Is it causing an annoyance? Inconvenience? Needless anxiety? What about Lori Lightfoot talking about her call to arms over the Roe versus Wade being overturned? To the LGBTQ community, this needs to be a call to arms. Is that menacing? Would that cause some people some anxiety? So my point to the Democrats, think about what it is you're asking for when you try to push this type of laws and this type of bullshit. One thing I always try and talk to people about when they talk about freedom of speech or hate speech, if they're in favor of those type of laws, is one of my favorite songs growing up as a kid was NWA, and it said, F the police. Now, there was a lot of people that wanted to shut them down over that song. And that was a very powerful song. It was a very necessary song at the time, necessary before its time. But the freedom of speech covered them and allowed them to say that. But if the woke, if the leftists had their way, that would be hate speech. That is menacing. That is causing anxiety. And it could have got them arrested. You either stand for all freedom of speech or you stand for none of it. Now, I want to go ahead and leave a clip. Please watch the entire thing of this man being arrested. We need to fight for our rights, people. These laws keep coming little by little, inch by inch. I started thinking about this, sorry, real quick before we show the entire clip. This is already in the United States in the form of universities. In the form of college campuses, there isn't due process. There are hate speech laws. There are things that they'll get you expelled just for just for offending someone, whether it's intentional or not. So to think that this isn't already in the United States is wrong. This is absolutely already taken over the universities. So here's the clip of the entire thing. Please watch, comment below. Would love to hear your thoughts. Take care, everybody. Love you.
So a perfectly peaceful war veteran is being handcuffed for a Facebook post by a politically motivated police force. He's being handcuffed. He's not resisted. He's not done anything. This is a man who served our country, and you people are a disgrace serving an ideology that you're doing. This is an ordinary human being.
I think you're tyrants. I think you should not be doing this. You're infringing my human rights and my freedom of speech under Section 8 and 10 of the ECHR.
You have to give them a
Yeah.
evidence
Yeah, I've got.
It's just
They don't care. They just don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They're brown shirts.
I know.
Is this the Gestapo? Seriously?
Yeah, he's the Gestapo.
This is how it began. This is the Gestapo, the Stasi, the Cheka, every political police force has ever existed.
That's exactly what people in occupied Nazi Germany and whatnot say.
We're in 1937, 38, pretty much.
All they're doing is proving the point.
Yeah, I've done nothing
That's
wrong.
all they're doing is they're proving the point. And they're all going to be famous as a result of it.
People who
Bullying, harassment, intimidation.
in the law.
Anything like that you need through with?
No.
Don't need money or a charge or anything like that?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Do you have numbers written down somewhere of people you want to
They're in my head.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm a
Right.
British Army veteran.
Okay.
Yeah, you should not be doing this to me. I
Okay.
expect my freedom of speech. Yeah, this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. Look what you're doing in front of all my neighbours. Really? Seriously?
For a Facebook post.
That's a Facebook post.
It's not the aim, is it? We would have
Well,
had
you've
to
done
walked
it.
out
You were
with
doing it.
You didn't have to come and knock on. You didn't need to have to come on his
Why
door
don't
and
you display me in
intimidate
front of
him.
my neighbours?
You didn't need to have to come and knock on his door on a Sunday morning and intimidate him.
Now,
He hasn't done anything
it's
wrong.
wait here so my neighbours can see me.
Yeah.
Brilliant, thanks for that.
You're more than welcome to wait around there.
Let's go. Yeah.
Oh well, finally some compassion. Thank you, officer.
You're very welcome.
You got a flag on the back there. People died and fought for that. And you're representing something that this country does not stand for at all. You should take that flag off and put a different flag on it. The one that you're arresting him
If you
for.
expect a response, you're unfortunately not going to get one from me.
I don't want a response from you. I'm not. This isn't about you. This is about what's going on in the police, and it's about what's going on to innocent, normal civilians in this country who are being bullied and antagonised by a politicised police force,
I shared what he shared.
anti-British.
I shared.
police force.
Why
There's
are you
nothing
nicking
British.
him? I shared what he shared.
I shared it as well.
Somebody,
He shared it.
right, somebody is taking offence to it.
Right.
And you'd think no one
Somebody's
would say
taking
I'm
offence.
fucked.
Somebody's taking.
I'm offended
They
that you
cause
call this
anxiety
me.
by
I'm
what
very
you-
offended.
Somebody's taken. Someone's taken offence. So he's in handcuffs.
This is not
anxiety from what you.
That's what happens when you cause anxiety, chaps. In England nowadays,
Offended someone on the internet. You were
anxiety.
doing this to me. You were doing this to me because I shared Lawrence
And
Fox's
obviously, due to
post.
the nature of it being homophobic.
Homophobic? What are you on about?
What's homophobic about
The
it?
flag, how is it homophobic? I disagree totally.
What's are you accusing him of being homophobic? Are you accusing a man of being homophobic? Is that what you're doing as well now?
Because it's
tried to-
homophobic.
you
How am I
tried to-
homophobic?
you tried
What
to-
time
Well,
have
you
you
think it's
tried to?
homophobic? You reviewed it. You went, "Oh, that's definitely homophobic. That is." You're a
It's not
retard,
homophobic.
mate. A total
Right.
retard.
I have found
Yeah,
you a
you
gay.
need-
Like that in a public
Oh,
setting.
yeah.
Because again, someone else would
Look.
find that
Okay.
very offensive.
I'm not
Homophobic.
public setting, I'm on his
Nothing.
private
It can be
land.
heard in public
Homophobic.
setting.
So if it's homophobic because I posted it, why is that not homophobic if he posted it? He posted it.
We're not going to discuss it.
Why not? Because I'm
It's also on this live thing. Yeah. So he upset someone. You've accused him of being homophobic, and that's what happens when you upset someone in this country nowadays. And those are the people who serve them. That's your political police force.
I shared his post and you're nicking me.
Well, we didn't want it to come to this, sir, but you
you've
made that
it come to
decision
this.
yourself.
You shouldn't have gone round his house anyway. Why did you come?
You've decided to come to my house and you're alleging I'm homophobic
Well, we
for
do that.
posting something that he posted.
We have a suspect for a crime.
A suspect
which
now,
we
mate.
investigate.
And what? So suspected of what? Homophobia? Because I posted a flag that you posted. That's been all over the internet. And what about? I know when I posted that flag, there was plenty of Union
Do you,
Jacks
do
aligned.
you want me to read you some of these comments? You disgraceful coppers, you jokers, you police are an embarrassment, Waffen SS in the flesh, disgraceful. That's what's being written about what you're doing by the public who are watching this, a very large number of them at this current moment. You're all going to be famous.
Aren't they doing this?
What crime? Nazis, plonkers.
My only crime was sharing a post that Lawrence Fox
I'm trying to
posted.
provoke you.
I'm not
actually,
trying to
guys.
vote. I'm trying to
if you're
speak to
trying
public
you're not-
servants.
you're just not
I'm
gonna
trying
get
to.
it, okay?
I'm personally trying to speak to public servants. Actually, it's breaking my heart to see you guys behaving like this. There's
I'm
normal
gutted. I'm
people,
gutted
and
you
all
were
from the
doing this.
parapets we've had to
I'm
raise
gutted.
because of this stuff. I'm not
Political
involved in
police
any of
force on
this. I'm
show.
not involved in
This
any
is
of
the
this stuff.
Gestapo, seriously.
He's my mate. I served in
Is it
trenches with him.
1938? Just
Waste of resources.
When Nazism.
They aren't here for the people.
This is not right. This is not right. Yeah, I have done nothing wrong. Yeah, you. are
Shocking in
interfering
this
with my freedom
country.
of speech. Section 8 and 10. This is absolutely
You've
wrong.
got no
Clowns.
sympathy. You've just got attitude.
7 out of 10 coppers in London haven't made a meaningful arrest in a year.
I've got to say, actually, quite valid.
98.5% of many crimes in this area are unsolved.
You know, interesting.
98.5. That's because they've got much easier crimes to solve this lot, don't they?
Yeah, this is unreal.
You got much easier crimes to solve.
I've never been in this situation in my
to
life.
solve. Have you ever been in a pair of cuffs before in your life?
Never in my life.
Ever in your life?
Never
you got
in
a
my
criminal record?
Nope.
No. Now, for posting a post on Facebook, you've just committed a cardinal sin,
No.
an evil crime that the black shirts must deal with here.
I have medals in the army for long service and good conduct. and the police come here and do this to me.
Yeah, disgrace to the service that you pretend to represent. An absolute
No, it
disgrace.
came to my house for wrongly, unlawfully in my eyes, because it's already been to
what
the
do you
court
say?
of appeal. It's already been to the court of
What do you
appeal.
say to
And
us?
the court of
This
appeal.
exact scenario.
Yes.
No,
Yes, this exact situation, Miller versus the College of Policing. It's just do your homework if you're going to come round the
I
second
didn't want you on my
time.
doorstep, so I invited you in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do
and I
it the
sorted,
second
like,
time.
you came
So
last
therefore,
time.
we're here lawfully.
But all you had to do was go away and read the judgment. Miller versus the College of
I
Policing.
did invite you in, but if you're using that as an excuse to be here, I'd like to say I'd like you to leave my property, get off my land.
Well, actually, you wanted us to come here so the neighbours didn't see you.
Yeah,
so,
but
which way is it, sir?
well, the way is, I would like me to stay here because I've done nothing wrong, and I'd like you lot to leave. That's what I want. Why is it not going to happen?
You're under arrest.
Because these guys are a political police
So tell me
force.
again. I'd like to hear
They
it.
don't serve without fear or favour. They serve a protected ideology,
Well, we're not
an untouchable ideology.
That's the whole point of you being under arrest.
That's what it's about. It's an untouchable. You cannot criticise the ideology. If you criticise the new woke ideology, you criticise anything about all of this pride movement and all this stuff, you make any criticism of it whatsoever, you end up in cuffs. Know that, citizens of Great Britain. Any criticism of the new woke ideology, you end up in cuffs. Whether you've served the country, whether you've got long medals for distinction and good service, you will end up in cuffs for expressing a perfectly legal view.
I did nothing wrong. I shared what you shared. Why are they arresting me and not you?
Because I've probably got deeper pockets than you do. But don't worry,
I'm easy
my deeper pockets are about to become your deeper pockets, my friend. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. And every single one of you guys is going to be famous as a result of it.
You are all wrong. I totally disagree.
And we were
with you,
just
yeah?
following orders was an excuse other people have used.
Yeah.
We were just following orders,
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
doesn't it?
They don't realise that. They think we're the wrong ones. Think we're the ones with an attitude, or we're wrong. And look how you stand there as public servants. You're supposed to be protecting us from this very problem.
It's meant to be, yeah, upholding our civil rights and human rights.
No. The Hampshire Police would realise how ridiculous this is.
It is ridiculous.
It is, of course. I'm
What to come to this?
What did it need to come to?
Tell us why you escalated it to this level. Because I don't understand. I posted something that he posted. You come to arrest me, you don't arrest him. Why has it come to this? Why am I in cuffs? Because there's something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your social media post. That's
But not
the reason why
his.
you've been arrested.
Darren, I've got the law on the phone. Can you ask the gentleman, gentle lady, why you're being arrested, please?
Yeah. Confirm to me again, for the benefit of myself, why am I being arrested?
So
Well, you're taking him away without telling him why he's being arrested.
You can speak to your solicitor in custody. Okay, you can have that conversation with them.
They won't tell him.
And they're refusing to tell him why he's being arrested.
I forget.
We already have.
Well, I forget. So you need to tell me
We
again.
already have told. We already have told.
Well, he is in
I don't
cuffs,
re-
and there are one
I
of
don't
you's
recall.
holding him. Forgive him for forgetting.
Yeah, I'm alarmed, harassed and distressed, and I forget if you ever told me. So can you tell me again, please?
We're not going to have this conversation again.
Why not? Why? I'm
Because we're
asking-
not playing your game, sir.
A game?
Yeah. Because quite
Hang
clearly
on.
this whole
You
setup-
started the game by calling to my front door because someone was offended on the internet. You started this game. Yes, it's your game, not my game.
Anna, can you repeat that for me, please, now?
Yes, he has a right to legal representation and to make a call. They can't take his phone away from him because otherwise he can't make a call to contact a legal representative. He should know why he's being arrested. They have a right to tell him.
I don't. I forget.
We have told him several times.
I forget though.
Is he entitled to ask once more why he's being arrested?
Yes, he is. Of course he is.
Right.
They can't without charge.
Can you ask? Can you tell me again? Because I forget why I'm being arrested.
We've told you several times.
So you refuse to tell me again because I forget. I'm alarmed, harassed, and distressed. So I want to know.
Quite frankly, sir, I don't believe
You don't believe me? Well, you believe the guy on the internet who said or girl, or whatever it was on the internet who said they were offended. Did you go and interview them? Did you? You just believe them, but you didn't believe me. Seriously? So you believe the one on the internet, but you don't believe me? Well, that says it all, doesn't it?
That's the thing with allegations, isn't it? Someone could say something, we have to respond to that. In a domestic situation, a female could say that she's been hit, whether it's happened or not, that's the allegation that's been made. So we have to act upon it.
And he said he doesn't believe me. I've made an allegation.
No,
You just said you don't believe me. I have made an allegation that I'm alarmed, distressed, and harassed, and you're saying I don't believe you.
And now all of a sudden you can't remember
Yeah, I
why.
can't remember.
why
I can't remember.
Sorry, sir, but
Call it PTSD. I don't know. I've been to war 3 times.
What will happen, Darren, when we get to custody?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll get taken in front of the custody sergeant, and then you'll be told again why you're under arrest, sir.
Okay, Darren, the most important thing is to remain calm. Don't antagonise him any further. And remember that
He doesn't antagonise him at all.
you don't have to answer any questions until there's a proper system of legal representation, which we're organising for you right now. Okay?
Please. Yeah.
And
We're going to take care of your business as well. Okay?
and we'll sort everything out.
Thanks, Lars.
What a disgrace this country is become.
Like you're in the right. You actually,
Yeah. From now on, just be cool.
Let's
Let's not antagonize. There's no need to take the heat up anymore. Okay?
welcome to 2022 Great Britain.